We got a couple young men here just to my left as well. A lot of commentary. They're giving me a fist pump. They're excited to be here. You probably heard that. But I said, Coach, what do you think about your first year coaching a team with the mascot, the Honkers? He says it doesn't exactly strike fear into the hearts of opponents, but the parents have embraced it. He said this season, 2 parents took it upon themselves to buy goose calls, pass them out in the stands to their friends, family, and fans of Lakeview. And now every time the Honkers score, they let out those goose calls. And the honk is actually, I looked this up on Wikipedia today, it's the sound a male Canada goose makes. So it really ties in there. Hunter Chubb told me before the game he was going to have a dunk right at the start, and he did not disappoint, dunking on a young Roseburg man. We won't say his name for his own protection at school on Monday. So in just a week span, you have 2 of his starters playing 6 baseball games and 3 basketball games with 1 day of rest. And that is the COVID math that's created by one season ending, another season starting. Thankfully, this is the last week we'll see that. And head coach Chris Schmierbach told me his guys are exhausted, but good news is they're young, so they can power through tonight. I just spoke with 10th grader Gaspar Rios, and he told me his entire home was destroyed during the fire, including his bike, his bed, all of his belongings. He said he's bounced around with relatives in Grants Pass, Trail, Shady Cove, and he's just grateful, thankful, and happy that he'll finally be able to relieve some of that stress on the football field out here tonight.
With the lenticular cloud.
The lenticular cloud.
That's one of my favorite clouds.
That was like a cloud just going over my head. That's what happened there.
Our producer's laughing. I can hear it in my ear.
Finn, Shorty. Yes, that's what we call them. It's amazing.
Finn and Shorty are the names 11-year-old Asher Young has given to his underdeveloped arms and hands due to a rare condition called ectrodactyly. But that didn't stop him from doing this last football season.
Go! Go! Go!
North Grants Pass Middle School and Asher's Cascade Christian Middle School organized an unforgettable moment.
I was saying to myself, run, do not die.
Asher running down the sideline for a touchdown, escorted by his own cascade of Christians.
My husband called me on the way home. You're never gonna believe what happened.
They were proud of me, I could tell. Yeah. Very proud.
Yeah.
Happy, amazed.
From the field to the track.
Good work, Asher.
Asher's dad, Marty Young, says he and his wife, Kendall, have been a little bit amazed by Asher every day since they adopted him when he was just 3. Mom Kendall says they adopted Asher knowing he'd likely be passed over for years because of his condition.
We just saw a 50-second video clip of him that an adoption agency put online. I don't know how I stumbled onto it, but I did. And I just told Marty when he came home that day, I found our baby. And he watched the video, 50 seconds. He said, you're right, let's go get him.
Ever since that day, that's exactly what Asher's done. Go get him.
Good job, Asher.
Ollie, let's do this! I'm just me, and I can just do whatever I want.
From cleaning the house with his feet
Looking good.
to getting ready for school,
Let me see.
Handsome.
cutting his own food,
Nice job.
and becoming a cornhole superstar. Nothing has stopped Asher from loving life.
He is a remarkable child, and he just has a love for life. And if he wants to do something, he just does it.
He wants to try anything. He wants to try everything. He just doesn't want to miss out on any opportunities to enjoy something new.
Dad, what are some of the other things that Asher has adventurously tried to do?
Well,
We won't bring up basketball.
basketball is a little bit of that was a tough season. But he did it. I mean, he worked hard, he tried his best.
It really doesn't surprise me. It just doesn't. You could tell that he was a special little soul in that video. You could tell that he just had a love for life, that he was just a fighter.
Now, say go!
Oh, there we go.
Yes, go! Us,
How about for Asher?
Asher had a final thought for anyone fighting their own condition.
Do what you love, do what you want to do. Try it. If you don't like it, or if you're not good at it, move on. Like basketball.
Specific information that says this exactly is why this sport is at this level, this is why this sport is at that level. We haven't been informed as to what that is exactly.
So you're saying you, as the commissioner of the Oregon School Activities Association, don't really know the exact metrics or factors that the OHA and the governor's office are making these determinations on?
Well, I wouldn't say the exact. I don't think that they've come out and said this is what it will take in order for those to occur.
That's Peter Weber, the commissioner of the Oregon School Activities Association. I brought those questions to the Oregon Health Authority and the governor's office and received written statements. The governor's office came back with this. COVID-19 will set the timeline for the safe resumption of sports. Contact sports remain a high-risk activity, according to public health experts. And the OHA response? COVID-19 is still spreading in our communities. To expand Oregon's sports exception would put more communities at risk. I requested follow-up interviews about the exact metrics they use to determine a sport's level of safety, but did not receive a response. So I asked Weber about the guidance the OHA and the governor's office have given him about the ban on full contact sports across all risk categories.
Does that mean that as long as there are risk categories, that football, basketball, and wrestling won't be allowed?
Yeah, that's a good question. That would be a question for them, not for us. I don't know the answer to that. At this point, they're just prohibited.
But full contact football is not prohibited in California. Their Department of Public Health currently allows football in the 3 moderate tier counties. I asked California's Northern Section Commissioner Elizabeth Kyle about the disconnect between neighboring states.
Health and safety of our student athletes and our students and our coaches and our spectators is everybody's top priority. And we all go about accomplishing that end a little bit differently.